welcome to Dragon Talks, the first one of 2025. I have to keep saying 2025 because I keep saying 24 and I'm only 25, so it's 25, and it probably take me another 3 months to realise that I need to write 25 because I wrote down here 24 as well. So 25, so welcome. It's beautiful to see so many faces. I hope you had an amazing holiday period, Christmas, whatever it is you want to call it. Hopefully it was pleasant for you. And so welcome to the new year. For those of you that talk about the year of dragon, year of snake that we were talking about earlier, just to make you realize that the year of the dragon continues until the 29th of January. And then it's the year of the snake. So we still are in the wood dragon energy, and then we hand over to the snake. I'm not sure what type of snake it is, so maybe somebody knows. I'll look it up for next time. So we've got two beautiful speakers, one from Japan, one from India, both of them in different places now, which is beautiful to see. I'm down in Devon, so that's in England, in Europe, on planet Earth. Sometimes not always on planet Earth. Wood snake. Oh, another one. Another wood one. All right, didn't realise that. So our first speaker is, it isn't a wood snake. All right, lots of messages. I'll read those. Our first speaker is Yumiko, who's from Japan. She's in London. And I think Yumiko, this is your third time on Dragon Talks. And I believe we booked you again for a few months' time. And every time you come on and share the Japanese idea of dragons and shamanism is always beautiful and enlightening. And we're going to have a sort of backwards and forwards chat, aren't we, today, about how dragons work in shamanism, how we connect people and train people, how Yumiko trains dragons, which is quite an amazing thing to do. And she's worked with thousands of people in Japan, and she's here in the UK and wants to assist us in the UK and throughout the rest of the world in how she works with dragons. So Yumiko, it's welcome again. It's beautiful to see you. How are you? And is it snowing in London at the moment?
No, it snowed last night, but really late at night, so not so many people have seen it, but my garden was white, all white, and it was so beautiful snowing. But I stayed in bed, so I didn't really play in the snow. But yeah, it's going to snow, it says, in 2 days' time, so yeah,
All right.
maybe I can enjoy some snow again.
Will you go out and do a snow angel, or you do a snow dragon? You know, lay in the snow.
Ah, I will. I will play with snow, maybe making snowman and snow rabbit and doing a little snow fight and just make some marks on the garden.
I'm
Yeah.
still waiting for someone to go out in the snow and make a snow dragon. I still haven't seen one of those. I think
Ah,
someone should. If it snows here, maybe I'll go out and do that.
yeah, it needs a lot of snow though.
It needs a lot of snow, yeah. And I think I'd make it a Japanese one because it'd be hard to do the wings.
I know, that's good idea.
I'd
Japanese
make
dragon
more of a
may be
snake one.
sleeping.
Beautiful. Anyway, dragons.
Yeah.
Lots of people here may have heard of you, may have seen you before, but many of them won't. So, what's dragons mean to you?
So I've been praying. Dragons were more like friends
Hmm.
before they asked me to introduce them to the other people. So for me, dragons were just friends, and they were like something as part of this world for me. So it was only 2007 the dragon asked me to teach about them or tell people about them. So I went to Japan. I was living in UK already, so I started to talk more about dragons to people, so people can connect with dragon, and dragon can help more people or play with more people. That's how I started. And before I started to teach dragons, how to connect with dragons, how to use and play with dragons, I was working as shaman for all of my life. So I was working with dragons in my work as a shaman, and I also work as alchemist. And I also use dragons as an alchemist, because in being an alchemist, I need a lot of information, lot of knowledge. So the dragons help me to gather all this information and knowledge from the universe, from all sort of time and space. So that's how I work with dragons. So before I come to this country, I didn't really know how Western people see dragons. And even before I started to teach dragon to Japanese people, I probably started to teach in 2005 and started to teach in a program and courses from 2007. So I knew how dragons are appreciated in Japan. They are really positive beings. Like dragons are helpful, or dragons are really powerful. It helps people to have power or transcend something or overcome something. But by coming to this country, I knew that some people see dragons as a negative things, like really bad, evil aspect of dragon. And there are some hypothesis I had, like in China, I don't know very much, I didn't study history very much, but in China, dragon is the symbol of power, and many people are not allowed to use the symbol of dragons. It was only allowed to the emperor. So I think maybe part of the aspect of uh, inhibiting people to use dragon, so the evil image is inflicted. I don't know, that's part of my hypothesis. But here I am with Kevin. I want to communicate more about dragon, talk more about dragon, how they can help you and make your life happier and more fruitful. It is really amazing. Once you connect with dragon, once you start to work with dragons, things become so different. Like many things become much easier, and because they can help a lot in healing, in helping you to make things happen, and in protecting you, taking you to places in the spiritual world mainly. But it really, really help you to achieve something you never thought you can. So dragon is essential for human to transcend and to make something impossible happen, make something impossible possible. So like our wild dreams come true. So by working with dragons, the most fascinating things to happen is you start to believe in your wild dreams. You start to believe in your potentials. You start to believe in something you dreamed, but it's not anymore dream. It can come true with the help with dragons. That's something I want you to experience in this lifetime, so you can express who you really are in a more wild and beautiful way. Like things you thought would never be possible can be possible by being creative, as well as having this fantastic help with dragons. And the working with dragon is exciting because they will never make us dependent on them. By playing with them, by working with them, our ability actually develop. We become more than what we were. So that's something exciting about working with dragon. For me, it's more about playing with them, but it's really exciting. So that's something I want to pass on to as many people as possible in this world. And I believe it's something that Kevin is also doing. So
It,
yeah,
it
yeah.
it certainly is. I mean, obviously these dragon talks are my way of assisting the dragons to get the message out there. And I in the beginning was like, oh, dragons are this way. This is the only way. And then the dragons were like, no, there's many hundreds of thousands of people out there that work with dragons in different ways, and that's why it's beautiful to see how you work with them, how the Indians work with them, how all cultures work with them, and everything's slightly different. Like you say, for us, they're naturally for us dragons in the west are there sort of like they raid villages and they want to eat people and the rest of it, but we're realizing that that's not true. That's just the bit like they say the witches are bad. Yeah, they're not. One of the things we were talking about before this call was the fact that we are moving through the wood dragon energy, and it has been a powerful year of the wood dragon. I've seen so many people coming to me and saying, "I'm dreaming about dragons. I saw a dragon over here in the clouds, and why are the dragons here so much?" And we're, as I said earlier, that we're in the last month of the wood dragon, and we're moving into the snake energy. And you said that you'd had a sort of a feeling or a download from the dragons and maybe from the snake energy that you wanted to share. Do you want to share that? How you think the year is transitioning and what's coming?
So yeah, the year of dragon was actually dragon help us to transcend, and as I have just explained, that it help us to believe in us, believe in our true purpose and in our dreams. And the snake is a little bit different. I mean, quite different. Snake is more about rebirth and transformation. Like in the year of this snake, I think we are ready to really be awakened to who we really are. We are shedding our old skin to just become more us. It's renewal, but as well as becoming who we really are. So it is, I think it is also about learning how to keep doing it. It's not only this year that we are reborning ourselves and transforming ourselves, but I think this year is more about learning to have that rhythm of constantly reborning and constantly manifesting new aspect of us. And it's quite magical, but it becomes really normal and natural way of who we really exist, that we change every moment. Every moment we renew ourselves. So that's actually also a Japanese concept of being, like which I learned in tea ceremony actually. Like there are tea house which is called Nichi Nichi An, which is Japanese, but the concept is every moment we die and we live again. So we don't have any moment same. Every moment is new. So we are born every moment. So to live life like that is what is really true to our nature. So that's something I think we will learn this year a lot about rebirth every moment. And that's something I studied in my research in university, actually. It is about spiritual emergency. I researched about spiritual emergency, and it's all about going through chaos into the creation. So I researched many people, and what I have discovered is maybe the first time going through this spiritual emergency and dark night of the soul takes several years. But as you go on and habit again and again, spiritual emergency again and again, it becomes much shorter. And in the end, it's like it's happening every minute. It's no more spiritual emergency, no more death and life, but it's becomes a way of living. So that's something which is very beautiful, but that's how we naturally live our life. I think that's the goal of us as a human, to live who we are at the best. That's what I think. So I think this year is something we can learn how to do that, and the vibration and environment and how the world is moving towards is the best condition that we can learn to do so. So we can daily live spiritually and at our best and be happy and use every difficulty and lesson to just make ourselves better and happier. So that's sort of exciting way of living. I want to help people to have this year. So I'm sure Dragon will help us do that as well. And the year of snake is perfect timing, especially this Year of Snake, followed by the very special Year of Dragon last year, is wonderful. And for Japanese Year of Dragon, Snake already started on the 1st of January. Maybe the Chinese Dragon finish on the 29th. So I didn't know that. So we still have some transition from Dragon and Snake. So I think it is also really exciting time of energy that we can have both energy of Dragon and Snake at the same time until 29th of January, which is great to hear, which I didn't know. So yeah, I think it's really exciting year this year. And in this talk with Kevin, I wanted to talk about how we shaman use dragons. And I know not all of you are shamans, so I want to also talk about how everybody can use dragon in a shamanic way to just for our healing and spiritual development. So that's something I want to talk about today together with Kevin, because Kevin will also talk about how he would use dragon in his shamanic practice. So it's like a Western way. Maybe I don't know if he learned, but I am natural born shaman, so I'm initiated by natural spirits. So I didn't have any teacher, so I don't know how people do, but I have trained so many shamans, so I have my own way, and I have seen how other shamans work from my students. So that's something I am aware of. And together with Kevin, I think we can include some of the interesting topics about shamanism and dragons today.
Sounds
So,
beautiful.
mm,
Just we were also talking about the fact that this is an important time that we're going through, and I was sort of saying to you that somebody had shared with me that there's a 9-year cycle, and we've just literally come to the end of a 9-year cycle. So for many of us, there's a new 9-year cycle, that a new version of us that's emerging from ourselves, built on our old selves. And that's a powerful thing. And it's funny, a 9 is a bit like a snake shape to me when I look at it. So yeah, do realize that you in many ways you can leave behind what you just did for the last 9 years, though you're building your life upon it. And there's a 9-year cycle that's starting. So imagine how exciting that is, and truly step into the unique version of you. And that's for me in shamanism, that the dragons can come in and help you find the courage. That's what dragons do for me, is they help me find the courage to actually step up and take away the fact that I'm timid and I don't want to be on camera and blah blah, all those things that we put there that say, oh no, I'm not going to be my ultimate self, not in this lifetime. The dragons for me have helped me clear away all that noise, all of that self-talk that says you're not good enough, you can't do this, and they gave me the courage. So I'd like to say to all of you, this is the beginning of the ultimate version of you, if you choose it. And working with the dragons, whether it's the Indian dragons, the Chinese dragons, the Japanese dragons, the Western dragons, whatever it is, they're all there, and you've got the opportunity to call in the ones that feel right for you. Not necessarily the ones that I work with, not necessarily the ones that Yumiko works with, but do start to discover them and call them in and find them. But yes, Yumiko, so if I'm completely new and I'm interested in learning about dragons, what would you do for me? How would you assist me?
yeah, I think first, if and you're still interested in working with dragon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would first ask you how you want to work with dragons and how you want to play with, for me, always play, but how you want to connect with dragons and what your dreams that you want help, the dragons help. And so you can start imagining, because anything can be possible with the power of dragon, with their help. So I want you to just be really wild about what you want in your life if you have a dragon. And that's something which could be really helping you to connect with them, because dragon likes those energy and thoughts and intention of transcendence. transcending impossible and transcending into new realm. And it is not about going crazy. It is about making it more real, because what I have discovered helping people to work with dragon is that they start to believe in them because the dragon helps so much. Like they can heal, they can make things happen, and it only start from you wanting some help. So thinking about how you want the dragon to help you to connect with them. So you need to want them to in order to connect with them. And how they work for you is all up to you, because there's so many different kinds of dragons. They do all sorts of things. For me, I'm a shaman, so an alchemist, so I tend to see those dragons who help in the shamanic practice, but they can do all sorts of things. We don't have to define how they work. We don't have to just limit their way of help. So first thing I would ask people who want to connect with dragon is they already feel how the dragon can help. That's why they want to connect with them. So first thing I would suggest you to do is to just think about what you want to do by the help of dragon. What do you want to accomplish, and what is your wildest dream that you didn't think it's possible, and make it real. So believe in yourself. That's how you connect with them, because it attracts dragon very much when you started to want to do something exciting, because they love excitement. They are normally bored because they have all sort of power, all sort of knowledge. They have nothing impossible, so they get really excited when when something to just help out to make it possible or real. So yeah, I think the one of the things you can start with is really start to trust in yourself and trust in your dreams, and just believe somehow it's possible. And do not limit yourself the way you can manifest it, the way you can realize it, and allow it to happen so the dragon can help you. And you will feel them around you once you start to do so. And you might see some visions of dragon in your dream, or you started to have see this word dragon, or you start to see those images of dragon in the real life. And you start to wonder, maybe dragons can help me. So that's how you start working with dragon, I think. And something I started last year is to connect people with dragon. And by connecting with dragon, I do that with energy and spiritual connection and so all sorts. So before you have dreams, you start connecting. I will do the connection work. And the strange thing is, once you're connected with them, you start to remember your wildest dreams. You start to remember what you really wanted to do in this lifetime. You started to really allow yourself to connect with your spirituality, which is your life purpose. So that's something dragon can help, and connection with dragon can help you to remember what you want to do in this lifetime. So that's something I have been doing last year a lot, because it was a year of dragon, and the dragon was really excited. Dragon was really excited. And as Kevin introduced me, that I never trained dragon before until 2023, which I did it in India, actually. I went to India to train dragons, and I never thought of training dragons. I used to train the spiritual guides as a shaman, but I never trained dragons until 2023. And I started to train so many dragons, and they are the galactic dragons. They just came from the other world. They are not from this planet. So they are just new to this planet. So I trained them how to work with people, how to communicate with people, how to channel, that sort of thing. And I taught them about this planet. So that's how I train dragons. And this year I went to India again to train more. So it's enormous numbers of dragon I trained, but this year it was much more hard work. The first year, 2023, it was sort of easy, okay. But this year it was really difficult, and it was really challenging because those dragon I trained last 2 years ago came back to be trained again, and they have so many the requirements, and they were really demanding because they wanted to help people more. So they wanted to work with people more. So they had so many questions. They wanted to develop certain ways. And so that was quite hard work. So I don't intend to go back to India this year to train more unless I'm called. But I think we are, not only the dragon used to help us, now we are helping dragons as well. Like I started to train them. It's not only me who is training dragons, who are helping dragons, but because of the people's awakening, you are awakening to your true purpose, and that fulfilling your purpose needs a dragon, and by being needed by humans, they develop themselves. So we are now helping them as well to be more excited and to have more fun. Basically for them is to have fun, but it's really exciting times that we work with dragons. It's not only that dragon help us, but we are also helping them to fulfill, to remember why they went into existence on this planet. So it is really exciting time. And it started last year like that. So this year we go into the awakening phase, and we do that more. We don't stop by last year, but we keep doing it from last year. We do more and more with that, and that's a really exciting process of awakening, I think, for us. It is becoming who we truly are, and it is beyond our imagination, I would think. That's why it's scary, but that's why more than fear, we get really excited about it. So it is really exciting year. And funny enough, as Kevin talked about 9 years of cycle, I was really aiming to finish everything by February this year, because and it really coincide with 29th of January, because February start with the year of snake, obviously, in Chinese year. So I intended to finish all my old business by end of January this year, so I can start new. So it really makes sense, because I had so many spiritual messages to just prepare the environment, prepare dragons and the spiritual guides to help human beings who will be awakening a lot from February this year. So obviously it's going to be a really exciting year of awakening for human being from this February onwards, the year of snake. And together with dragon, we help each other more and more, rather than they are just waiting to help us, but we also reach out to them. And that reaching out process is also our awakening process. So that's really exciting.
Beautiful. Someone said, where did you work in India?
Kerala, it was such a hard work. First 3 days, I needed to work in backwater because I needed to train the dragon in the water. Then after the 3 days of training, I had to go into the mountain in the thunder, because they need training in the mountain through the trees and the wind and the thunder and the cloud. So that's the second part of the training. So I spent 3-4 days in Kerala backwater and another 2 days in Muna Mountain.
Mhm.
So that's how I trained. And this last year, I also went to the waterfall in Kerala, but I didn't train the dragon there. I just met some dragon, rainbow dragon to discuss something. But yeah, it was in Kerala. Hopefully I'm not cold this year, but I don't mind going to India, especially Kerala, because the food is wonderful. It was such hard work last year, so maybe this year I need to be more prepared. It can be harder. So yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah,
Oh,
we were
great.
talking about food of India before we started, weren't we? And then we went down a bit of a food rabbit
That's
hole there.
amazing.
Cool. One of the things we were talking about earlier, you were talking about using dragons to ride on their backs and see your past lives.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing because I've never heard of that idea before. For me, it's
Oh,
normally somebody
okay.
takes you on a journey into your past life. But the idea of using your dragon or a particular dragon, do you want to expand on that a bit
Yeah.
more for us?
So something, the way of using dragon or way of playing with dragon in a shamanic way, even when you're not shaman.
Hmm.
So you don't have to be shaman to use a dragon in a shamanic way. When I teach people how to connect with dragon, I always teach them how to ride on them. And one of the tasks all of my students will have is to ride on the dragon and visit their previous lives. And especially certain dragons, like for me, it looks like green and blue dragons, especially green ones, or sometimes silver ones. They're really good at taking us to our spiritual roots, our spiritual origin, or our previous lives, or where our karma is. They would take us to wherever previous life, or maybe it's current dual life, that we have very strong connection at this moment of time. So by going there to visit you in that previous lifetime or in the dual lifetime, which is you may be living in different planets at the same time. So they will take you there to see how you are living that life and learn from it. So visiting your previous life help you to understand why you have certain trauma or karma or certain destiny that you have at this moment to help you understand to achieve it. Karma is not something negative. Karma is something which connects you to your destiny, help you to destiny. So by visiting your previous life, like a shamanic work I help people with, you can heal your previous life by understanding the purpose of what actually happened. So it becomes the trauma from your previous life becomes a wisdom to live your current life. So you've healed your previous life like that. You receive the wisdom from your previous life that you have trouble with, or that you have karma or something with, trauma with, to receive the wisdom. Because by visiting your previous life in this moment, where you can use that previous life knowledge, by visiting it, it will become your wisdom to live your life with your previous life learning. So that's how you heal your soul. That's how you heal your previous life on the back of the dragon. So that's really exciting way to work with dragon. If you happen to have a dragon, any dragon can take you to your previous life, I think. Because if you want, because they can do all sorts of things. So if you have any dragons, if you know how to ride on them, why don't you ask them to take you to your previous life? Don't be scared because they will only take you to the previous life you can learn from. They will only take you to the previous life you can receive the wisdom that you can heal the previous life, or you can receive some wisdom or hint or inspiration or insight into your current life. So that's something I can recommend anybody who has dragon, who don't have to be shaman to do this, but they will help you to just heal your previous life or heal your soul or help your soul to be awakened to your true purpose by transcending the traumas or karmas or those anything which looks negative. There's nothing negative in this world. It just looks negative because you don't know why it's happening. But once you know why it's happening, it all becomes gift and joy and the beautiful things. So that's something you can use your dragon to play with, visiting your previous lives on their back, if you know how to ride on the dragon. And even if you don't know how to ride on the dragon, you can ask them anyway to just take me to the previous life, to just solve any problems that I'm having, any difficulties I'm having in this lifetime. And you might not see anything happen, but maybe the next day or in a few days' time, your problem will also be solved. You will learn something new. Even something you felt really annoying become blessing. That's how that's how the healing of your soul happens. Your reality changes because you learned something. You have wisdom to deal with. So everything you have in this lifetime becomes gift and blessing, and it becomes wonderful and beautiful. But by being human, life is painful, and that's not a bad thing, because pain itself is helping you to take you to your purpose. You wouldn't feel pain if it's not something important. It's just telling you something important for you. So that's how you can use your dragons for even when you're not a shaman. And as a shaman, we use dragon to just visit our clients or the person in front of us to help their previous lives. And I will take, sometimes I will take my client with me, or I will just go myself and learn about it and just bring back the wisdom and share with my customers or the client. But this can be done without being a shaman if you have a dragon to help you. The shaman is I teach my shamans to be spiritual teachers as well, so they can guide us to people, because something which is beneficial to have shaman working for you is they can guide you with the wisdom you receive from your previous lives. So yeah, but that's something dragon can also help you, maybe, to just help you to notice, help you to understand, help you to be hinted or maybe understand why this happened, or why you are in this condition, why you are having this by choice. So it is great to work with dragons like that, and you don't have to be a shaman to do so.
That's a beautiful idea. I say in the past for me, if it was a past life regression, I had to get someone else to do that. Now I'm
Mm.
excited to play with my dragon and go back in my past lives. I
Yeah.
like
You
the
just
idea.
have to have meditation afterwards, because you don't have spiritual guidance from shaman. You
Yep.
have to guide yourself. So you can do meditation, or you can just notice about the messages. Message doesn't only comes from your crown chakra. Message can come from your eyes, from your ears, from your taste, from your sensation. Everything you're experiencing is message. So just being with yourself, having a quiet moment or meditation can help you to just learn from what you learned from the help with the dragons. Yeah, without shamans again.
Mhm. That's beautiful. I love that. That's cool. Cool. And one of the other things we were talking about beforehand was you talked about dragons, and they often have crystals, and
Oh, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
that was
Yeah,
quite
yeah, yeah.
intriguing to me, because I've heard that crystals have dragons. There's a lady that's got a whole book on about crystals having dragons to protect them, but I've never heard of the dragons
Mm.
actually having crystals. Do you want to explain a bit more on us?
It's not dragon's possession, actually.
All right.
It's shaman's possession. I don't know if I should call these people as shamans, because they may not be shamans like
Mhm.
but many shamans have three sacred tools. Maybe it's only Japanese shaman, I don't know. But we have sword, which brings the truth, and we have mirror, which awakens people and which heals people. It's amazing tool if you know how to use it. And you have a crystal, a ball. So maybe one of those crystals that shaman has, when you have these balls as a shaman, you can call the dragon. If you happen to know that as a shaman, if you have a crystal ball, you can just raise a crystal ball above you and call upon the dragon, which works with you. And you can call the dragon, and the dragon will take your crystal and bring whatever you ask in the crystal. So that's how I work with the dragon, with the crystal as a shaman. And I don't know if it's only shaman who do that. Maybe the priestess and priest can do that as well. Whoever has this special sacred crystal, the spiritual one, not the material one, you can call upon the dragon to just help you get something into that crystal ball. They can bring a soul, a lost soul in the crystal ball and bring it to you, or they can bring certain energy, wisdom, some information in it. So it's very, very useful, the crystal ball. And the dragon, they will have that crystal ball from you, which means you have you contract with the dragon, that the dragon help you. And once they have this crystal ball, a dragon always, not always take your order. They don't take your order, but once they get your crystal ball, they will take your order, because that's a contract between you and the dragon, that once they take your crystal ball, they will do what you ask. Maybe they will return the crystal ball to you. I don't know. It never happened to me, but they might. But once they have your crystal ball, they can get the information you want, or they will help you. And they will only do that because you only have this crystal. If your purpose is real, if your purpose is spiritually yours, uh, if what you want is sacred, sacred means it's true to yourself. So as long as it's true to yourself, you can have this crystal and call upon the dragons. So if you happen to have a crystal somewhere around you, you might try out to just hold it up in the air and call the dragons, and they might come. And they will follow your order if you have this sort of crystal. It's a very special crystal, and you will see it, because it's obsolete. It's obviously not visible and not material, but when you hold this such crystal ball, your heart resonates with the crystal ball, and you feel your heart will be cleansed. Like you can feel the purity of your heart once you hold that crystal, and that's how you call upon the dragons to the crystal. So that's something exciting to do. So that's how I use and I teach people to do. I mean shamans. The shamans I teach, if they have, not all the shamans have the crystal ball, but if they happen to have this crystal ball, I will teach them how to use a crystal ball with dragons and help people. There are so many different kind of crystal balls, so I will channel each crystal balls and teach each one of the shaman. So that's part of my shamanic training. So maybe you can use crystal ball in different purpose. I'm only sharing what I have known and what I have trained. But I don't train. I mean, I only train the beginning. So the shamans who are trained with me, they will develop uniquely and individually. So I don't know how they are using it after my training, but that's normally how I teach and how I do. And it's really different. When the dragons got your crystal ball, they work differently, but it's still fun without having crystal ball and play with dragon. So yeah. And yeah, that's normally how shamans, and as far as I see, how shamans work with dragon, because we need to rely on them. Like we work together as a team. And other way that I work with dragon as a shaman is they do a lot of cleansing and purification of the land, the element, the mountains and water and all sorts. Together with the shaman's love. All the shaman has a unique expression of love. And with the love, this, when the dragon are fascinated by that sort of love, they will work as with the shaman to just prepare the land for the cleansing, or prepare people's environment for healing and that sort of thing they do. So that's how dragons work with shamans again. So there are so many other way of us shaman working with dragon, but that's probably the best common ways that we work with dragons, and
Beautiful.
it really helps. So
That's gorgeous. And one of the other things we were talking about, and you wanted to sort of briefly mention, was your higher dimensional training that you do. That you sort of you
yes,
open
this is
us
something
up.
I am still, I thought I developed. I've been training people, Japanese people, to have higher dimensional consciousness. And this higher dimensional consciousness allow you to communicate with dragons and higher dimensional beings easily. And you can understand what they're talking, and you can understand their concept, which is often higher dimensional concept, which is not understandable with our third dimensional understanding or logical thinking. So higher dimensional consciousness help us to understand that higher dimensional concepts and the messages and information with those higher dimensional beings. And dragons are higher dimensional beings, basically. So when I started to train people, I did two kinds of training. Training people without higher dimensional consciousness, and with higher dimensional consciousness. When people are trained in higher dimensional consciousness, then they can communicate with dragon much more and work more easily with dragons, and they can see more dragons. So that's something I want to do more with Western people, because I have trained probably at least 2,000 people in Japan with higher dimensional consciousness. And because it was so normal for me, I didn't really think about consequences of having higher dimensional consciousness. And once you have those higher dimensional consciousness, your time and space is not 3D anymore. So you transcend them. So the concept of time and space are different from other people who are from the third dimension. So you have to understand the gap between you and others. And your time, you feel expand. Like you have little time, you can do lots more things in a very short time, which is exciting, but I had to warn people that it happens because some people who came to me, they had the problem of hard work and overworking, and they wanted to quit their job. But with the higher dimensional development, they can use more time. I don't know, maybe it's thought process, but they can do lots more work in a shorter time. So I didn't know that because it's been normal for me. So I had to test a lot with Japanese people to just see the difference of their lifestyle. But obviously, the lifestyle will be quite different after the development. So I don't know how I can benefit Western life, because Western life is quite logical. Japanese life is not so much logical. So it's easier to adapt higher dimensional living. But in Western life, everything needs to be concrete and explained and logical. So it's a bit difficult for me. It's quite challenging. I know some people asked me to do this development, but I haven't done it yet. So I'm hoping to just do this year. I'm sorry to keep people waiting about this, but I want to make it more efficient and adjustable for Western culture. So you don't have to be surprised, but more it adapt easily in your lifestyle. So, and I want to do it more quick and cheaper way, because as you can guess, if you go beyond time and space, you will access more to your past. And I need to do a lot of healing in order to the higher dimensional development. So you don't get scared once you go beyond. So I tend to do at least 5 days of intensive healing in order to develop higher dimensional consciousness. And doing 5 days of intensive healing cost a little bit of money. So I try to do it cheaply, more like a shorter and more cost-efficient way. That's something I'm also exploring, using maybe alchemy. So maybe using lots more alchemy than healing, I can do it much shorter. So that's something which is coming. Sorry, I thought I completed last year, but I haven't. So I'm still working on it, but I will do a lot of alchemy to make it more cheaper and shorter and efficient in the Western culture. Not only Western, but culture outside Japan. And luckily, I had the experience of international marketing in my career as a in IT company. And I understand Japanese market is really unique. Japanese psyche is really unique. So maybe that's something I can make use of that experience to just make most efficient higher dimensional consciousness development for Western and outside Japan culture, which needs to complete soon, but not yet. But it's really exciting because it can help people live better and use their time and space much more efficiently. Yeah, you worry less with higher dimensional consciousness, and you see much more. You can even see behind you, like with third dimensional eye, you can only see what's in front of you, but with fifth, you can see everywhere. So that's really exciting. But at the same time, you can get overwhelmed. So that's something I'm developing. Thank you for listening to my struggle of this higher dimensional development program for Western people. But it should be finished before February, I hope, to make it available.
Well, I'm excited to see when that comes out then. I love the idea you can see behind yourself. That'd be quite
Yeah,
useful.
you can feel everywhere. So you can feel even distance or even your past. You can heal your past as well by healing. Your energy can reach so many places distantly as well. So that's a really exciting method, but quite overwhelming at the same time.
Yeah, I can imagine. We've put some of your links in so people can find you. And there
Oh,
is a question here. Where's it gone? It says maybe you could ask.
questions?
Somebody says, does each country have a dragon chief or dragon lord? Do you know
Ah,
any thoughts on that?
they are tribes, dragon tribes in many cultures. And there are some dragons which almost belongs to these cultures. And there are still area in the world which dragons are trapped.
Hmm.
And we as light workers who work with dragons go there and release these dragons. They are intentionally being trapped. They're enjoying being trapped. So it's not that they are asking for help, but they are trapped dragon everywhere in the world. And they are, I don't know about Dragon Road, but they are sort of dragon tribe,
Hmm.
which is attributed to the people who used to live there. So there may be, you might experience those dragon tribes as a dragon lord and group of dragon, which is unique to certain culture.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And 1 minute left. Has anyone got a quick question they would like to ask Yumiko?
Are some people able to see other people's dragon? Yes, I can. So there are people, and I train teachers. I teach dragon master teachers as well, and they will see their student dragons as well. And I'm sure there are people who can see other people's dragon, but they will see in their way. So it doesn't mean what you see your dragon is exactly the same as they see your dragon. But when they become a teacher, they tend to see the dragon the way you see them. So
Beautiful.
how I can share a photo of a dragon? How I can share a photo of a dragon? Ah, そうだね. If you know how to draw, maybe you can draw. Or you can, maybe I don't know how you do it, but you can get some medium who can paint and send energy and message to that medium so they can paint for you, I guess. I would do that. And did any Indian understand your work with dragon or even work with you? When I was in India, I did a lot of rituals. And when I'm doing the rituals, I worked with, not intentionally, but they asked me to work with them. So I worked with 11 really good monks from all over India in a ritual once. But so I think they understand my spiritual work, some Indians. And they were, when I was doing the dragon training, I didn't explain them that I'm training with dragons, but I think Indian people are so nice, so they just help others. So I don't know if they understand to help me, but they were so nice. I love Indian people. They are so understanding and they are so empathic. They can get things much quicker than what I see from Japanese and all the rest of the world people. They are really intuitive and maybe, as Maha says, spiritual. So it's really exciting to work in India. So do you think the crystal you talked about could be part of the right body? There are so many layers of light bodies. There are so many different dimensions in the light body. Like people normally say light body is in fifth dimension. So then maybe a part of the crystal can be in that dimension, because crystal is normally multidimensional. Because with the crystal, dragon travel all the dimensions. So it doesn't have certain dimensions. So I'm sure it can be visible at the level of light body as well. And I have lots of dragon photos, but I cannot upload here. Oh, that's so exciting. You have lots of dragon photos. I'm sure you will have opportunity if you want to work with Kevin, and you will have, I think it's exciting. It's really exciting. You should really start a blog or something to share your dragon photos, because you might find people who can associate with your image, I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, on the Dragon Photos one, what I suggest is you go to Facebook and join the Dragon
That's
Thunder
right.
group, and you can post them in there, and you'll get 2,500 people sending you lots of love, I'm sure. So that's the best place to share them rather than on here. Because if you share them on here, I can't put them anywhere, I don't think. But yeah, go to the Facebook group and share them on there. We love seeing people's dragons. If you can describe where you met them, I think that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we've used the time up. We need to move to our next guest. But Yumiko, it's always beautiful to hear from you and hear your perspective on dragons. So thank you for sharing. And of course, this video will be shared with everyone. And if you guys have got questions, then do send them through to me, and I'll pass them on to Yumiko, and I'm sure she'll get a chance at some point to answer them. And I think she's
Yeah.
back
I
here in a
love
few months' time
questions.
anyway.
Please send me questions.
And again, thank you for your time. Let's send lots of love Press those heart buttons.
Thank you.